Good evening, customers of Knowhere Games and Comics. It's me, Matthias, here with your weekly live stream of all the awesome new comics that are out today. New Comic Book Day, January 8th, 2019. And there's all sorts of great new comics to talk about today, many of them involving mutants and not just the Marvel kinds. So we'll be talking about those very briefly. Just giving you a heads up, aside from this weekend being Long Beach Comic-Con up in Long Beach, we have some great things coming on the horizon as we get ready for pre-releases for Magic the Gathering, Theros Beyond Death. You can see the spoilers now at mythicspoiler.com, as well as our upcoming HeroClix pre-release that will be happening at the end of the month. All sorts of fun stuff coming that way, along with a new Pokemon set as we enter into February. But let's talk about what you're all here for. The new comics. And with me, as usual, is the wonderful Richard Robello, who is slightly at a distance off camera and therefore likely not to appear right now as he's busy looking at the new comics we're about to talk about. He's coming. He's coming. And that's all you get from Richard, as usual. So, fun new comics we're going to be talking about, but we're going to dive directly into it, starting with the graphic novels. And out this week, we have Boom's Rocco Modern Afterlife. Yes, it's as haunting as you can imagine it would be with a title like that, and it's all the more better than that Netflix expansion of the classic cartoon. If you're a fan of Alan Moore's infinitely amazing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen series, the final volume is now in hardcover. Yes, The Tempest will be the final volume of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen ever by Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill, as Alan has officially retired from comics with the end of that. But if you love Alan, you might want this great Watchmen companion, which gives all sorts of fun Alan Moore additional details, especially right off the presses of Doomsday Clock and the wonderful season finale of the HBO Watchmen TV series. If you're Marvel fans, I'm sure you've already grabbed the Absolute Carnage single issues, but the trade paperback is now available to give you the full run in one binding. And then a Wave Blue World has their newest of their binge comics out, Mezzo, Rise of Sakura. I am going to mispronounce that horribly, but it is an awesome world of fantasy with Mesoamerican artistic themes and architecture and design. It is absolutely beautiful and the start of something really awesome, and it is just part one, but you're going to want to dive right in because this is a beautiful, beautiful graphic novel. Moving on to the comics this week, we're going to start with somebody else who's got beautiful artwork, Jonathan Luna, doing his new image series, 20XX, hitting its second issue this week. Arrow, part of the Agents of Atlas, hits her 7th issue this week. The Amazing Mary Jane hits the 4th issue as Mary Jane continues her film with director Mysterio. We, of course, have our great Christmas project, American Jesus, the New Messiah. It's the newest American Jesus, soon to be a Netflix TV series. Now, here's an interesting one that you don't get to see a cover of, but we're going to talk up because we're going to get a great restock on. I'm going to have Richard join me because it would be Batman 86. What happened in Batman 86? Well, James Tynion took over on writing, and I'm going to turn things around. So me and Richard can give you two different perspectives on this. Now, I'm somebody who's read the first 85 issues of the Batman Rebirth series over at DC, written by Tom King. I absolutely love them. Richard, I don't believe, did you read any of the Tom King run?
Yes, just not all of them.
Okay.
Definitely not all 85.
All right. So we're going to have two very different perspectives here. I loved Batman 86. I think that James Tynion did a great job continuing Tom King's run. He has the spirit. You still get the leftovers of City of Bane, and it's really awesome. And I swear to God, I got to the edge of a tear. Like, I was ready to cry over an Alfred-related moment that James wrote. Well, you still get the high action of Deathstroke. What were your thoughts?
An 85 or 86?
86.
86? Okay.
Just okay?
Just okay.
So not big on James Tynion's new run on Batman.
Oh, sorry. 86 is the Tynion one.
Yes.
I'm trying to look for the number. I don't remember what number we're on. 85 was the last of the
Tom King run.
Tom King. 86. 86, it's just okay.
Is that all you got?
It's continuing from the Tom King run, so there's not like a lot new going on. It's obviously the start of a new arc. It's definitely a different style of writing, which is whether you like Tom King or not, or Tynion or not, it's refreshing to see a different pace and style of the Batman story. It definitely portrays Batman in a different light. Oh, there's a copy of it.
Borrowed from a customer who already had picked up his. There's a Batman 86 for you.
So I did enjoy that it was kind of a different take on Batman because it's a different person's, different writer's view of how Batman should be portrayed. So I did enjoy that. But as far as the story goes, it was okay. I mean, but again, it's the start of an arc, so there's a lot of setup. There's not a lot going on. There's a couple cool action sequences. There's some new characters. So I'm eager and excited to see where it goes. Mostly, and again, I didn't read all of Tom King's stuff, but that's kind of because I was not really into it. I do like this take of Batman better.
All right. And I personally think, being, the fan of the Tom King who really enjoyed the last 85 issues, this is really exciting. I'm super hyped to see where this goes. I mean, it was so hyped that we sold out of all of our copies, and we have a restock coming. So hopefully you can grab a copy and form your own opinion and tell us which one of us is right, wrong, or you're somewhere in between that. But it's good. Moving on, Batman and the Outsiders. It's issue number 9 this week. Battle Pug continues on with issue number 5 by the great Mike Norton, the lover of pugs that he is. Black Cat hits issue number 8, while Buffy the Vampire Slayer continues the Hellmouth crossover with issue number 11. Some awesome covers as we get one of the classic TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayers. One of the classic TV series Vampire Slayers, who's not Buffy, Kendra, stepping into the realm of the comics. Butcher of Paris hits issue number 2 this week, continuing Dark Horse's historical fiction of a serial murderer in Paris during World War II. Catwoman hits issue number 19. And then we finally get issue 2 of Conan Serpent War. And to talk about the man with the Moon Knight plan, Richard, what are your thoughts?
Can I talk about issue 3?
Issue 3, yes, sorry, issue 3.
Sorry, being an ass, but that's me. It was fun. It's now starting to heat up the actions. This is where the action really starts to get going on this. You have Conan and...
Solomon Kane?
No, Solomon King is teamed up with Moon Knight, and they're kicking butt in London.
Conan, sorry, yeah.
Conan and I'm drawing a total blank. Agnes.
Agnes
are kicking butt in the Iberian Age. And so it's just a lot of action-packed, good, fun adventure read. And this is kind of what I've been waiting for this type of story. So if you like Conan, you like the old, just that type of action, read for you. And there's his notification once again. So it's a fun book. That's actually a really cool cover right there. Moon Knight.
Yep.
One of the connecting covers.
And a reminder, if you're loving this, Jim Zub will soon be taking over the main Conan title on issue number 13, right after Jason Aaron.
I think he'd be a perfect fit for it because his style of writing is perfect for that Conan type of story arc. So
awesome. Moving on, we have Daphne Byrne, a haunting new horror title, part of the Joe Hill House things, written by Laura Marks with artwork by the classic comic artist Kelly Jones. It is a dark tale of a young girl trying to find her missing father, and it has some very interesting twists as she goes and explores a tomb and then some. Definitely fun for all you horror fans who have been enjoying the Hill House series or any of the classic Joe Hill tales. Moving on, we have my pick of the week, Deadpool, because as we know, Kraven is hunting down Deadpool, who is king of all monsters, along with the other monsters of Monster Island. And it's going to make for some interesting twists for the recent monsters who've been joining Deadpool. I cannot wait for issue number 3. The last page of issue number 2 was so awesome. I wish I could share it with you all. Doctor Who, the 13th Doctor, gets a new comic series starting with issue number 1, set up for the new season, as you know and love. And yes, that is a familiar looking Doctor to the right of the 13th Doctor. Do they make appearance in the comic? You'll have to grab a copy to find out. Another great Hill House book, Dollhouse Family number 3, out this week. Well, another Joe Hill book, Dying is Easy, hits issue number 2. IDW timing it ever so wonderfully with the Hill House books. Then we go into the Dawn of X as we return to England for Excalibur number 5. Let's go to my number 1 English friend, who is so far from English, to talk about what's happening with our mutant compatriots.
So far from English, I'm American.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad I stuck through to issue 5. To be totally honest, I made the commitment I was going to do 5 issues of each one before dropping off, if I was going to drop off at all. And this one, you get a cool battle between Apocalypse and Gambit, which is really awesome. But they set up the whole thing going forward and is now really taken off with the, again, last page of this book. Something really cool and special happens.
Such a reveal.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I'm in for issue 6. These books this week, all the X titles, issue 5 I mean, most of them I was going to keep on. The few that I was going to drop off, I'm in for issue 6. So just a heads up. So.
And then before we go to Richard for Fallen Angels, I want to show the 2 other great variants available for Excalibur, as well as then show you the variant and main cover for Fallen Angels number 5.
So Fallen Angels, another story. This one is the one that I'm trying to figure out when they're going to make it tie into the rest of the X titles. This one isn't as action-packed or gotcha at the end of it, but it definitely ends with that like ominous, more deep tone of where this is actually going to be headed and shaping up and pushing the story forward. The first 4 issues kind of felt like a lot of really slow build-up, and this so now with this one I'm kind of eager to see where it's going to go, so I probably will pick up issue 6 to see where it goes, because Psylocke in this is going to confront her I guess new big bad Apoth, so we get to see where that goes, and that, like I said, it ends on an ominous tone, setting up the next arc, so it should be a good one.
All right. For Firefly fans, we're getting a return of Ma Reynolds from early episodes in the great TV series. His Great Pat continues his amazing voice of the various cast members in a wonderful one-shot with 2 awesome covers that we're only down to 1 of. Genlock continues on with issue number 3 from Rooster Teeth by the wonderful Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. Then we get Ghost Rider number 4, which has some great tales from my master of hell himself, Richard.
So, another book, not just the X titles, giving you the last page drop, shock and awe. This one right here. Everyone online's been talking about a first appearance that I guess was leaked, and that happens a few pages earlier. The big reveal is the final page. But not to get into that, this story really is about, it's a 2-parter technically. It's Johnny Blaze, the King of Hell, goes to free Mephisto from jail because he needs him before he puts him back. And then you get the second half of the story is Danny Ketch in Purgatory and his encounters and adventure in there. But like I said, the last page of this is setting up something big coming up for issue 5 and 6 and so on and so forth. So Marvel this week is all about the cliffhanger and the first reveal of something big. So don't miss out. It's the final issue on the shelf. So
rush in and grab it. I'm doing my best to fight saying something to Ken after his comment in the comments. Ghost Spider, issue number 6 has an amazing cover by Greg Land, the same man who brought us the incredible 1 in 25 variant of Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, where Spider-Gwen first appeared, so it was a wonderful follow-up. We have Gideon Falls, soon to be a TV series and a multiple Eisner Award-winning series, issue number 20 now out from the great Jeff Lemire, who has a couple great things out this week. We have Gotham City Monsters hitting its penultimate issue from DC Comics with the wonderful Steve Orlando. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy have 2 absolutely beautiful connecting covers there, as well as a great main cover showing a guest starring of Batwoman as we hit the penultimate issue. Hawkman number 20 continues its connection to the Infected, as well as You're the Villain, as Robert Venditti brings us issue number 20 with an awesome variant by Paulo Pantalena. We have Lady Death hitting issue number 2, its final part of Nightmare Symphony by the great Brian Pulido with an incredible B cover there. Those of you guys who are fans of the Magicians TV series or Lev Grossman's incredible novels are going to want this follow-up to the novels and TV series as we get the new class of Magicians, Stacy's Pick of the Week. It is an awesome one as we hit issue number 3. Marvel Avengers, the upcoming video game, gets a wonderful news story by Jim Zub and the Thor prequel to the video game. Marvel's X brings back Alex Ross and Jim Kruger's great tale, the X trilogy, or the Earth X trilogy, now in prequel form with 2 awesome covers. We, of course, have Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, crossing over with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is an absolutely amazing series I am loving, as the Green Ranger has popped over the Turtles universe early. Now we're getting the Power Rangers fighting against the Turtles, but when all of a sudden Tommy realizes the Foot Ninja Clan is not the good guys he thought they were, what happens when Shredder and him go head-to-head? An absolutely unbelievable last page fills this issue that has me unbelievably beyond a desire to wait for issue number 3. Morbius, the Living Vampire, hits issue number 3 this week. Well, New Mutants, Ken's pick of the week, hits its 5th issue from the great Jonathan Hickman as our characters make their way to Shi'ar. Some surprising tales to be had in this, and we will be going to my own expert of Shi'ar space, Dr. Richard Ribello.
So you had to know they were in Shi'ar space for some reason, right? Like I said, this week Marvel's leaving you with where the stories are now going to be going and branching off onto their own. The New Mutants find themselves on the Shi'ar throne world and have to do some battling there. And not only is it an action-packed book, there's some really great comedy in here. Magic has a freaking badass page of really great lines that she drops before she drops some ass. And then, like all the rest of them, it leaves you set up with something huge that happens on, yes, again, the last page.
I think we should have titled this week's live stream of the
Page
last page,
Ray.
yeah.
There you go. And I'm really disappointed because Ray didn't tell me about any of these last pages this week, even though he spoils the last page every other week. Which I guess is a good thing because it was really exciting to get to the final pages of these books.
Ray Benavides,
But
he is the
holy
spoiler of
cow,
last pages.
another jaw dropper at the end of this book.
Yeah, oh, awesome. The Plot hits its 4th issue from the wonderful guys at Vault, while Psylords hits issue number 8 from the wonderful guys at Valiant, a double V publisher book. Red Mother gets an amazing second printing of issue number 1 if you weren't reading Jeremy Hahn's incredibly dark horror story of a girl who lost her boyfriend and her eye only to have one of those two items replaced by something rather demonic. We're going to give you a hint, it's the eye, not the boyfriend. It is a unbelievably twisted horror that will just bring you to the edge of your seat in fear and excitement as you move through. We're happy to have the second printing back in because issue number 2 is going to be unbelievable. Red Sonja hits its 12th issue this week, wonderful cosplay variant. Relics of Youth over at Vault hits its 4th issue. Well, The Ruins of Ravencroft, Carnage continues on horror-wise. A one-shot that will lead us to the upcoming Ravencroft miniseries by Frank Thierry. RV9, one of the best comics for art in recent days. Mad Cave Studio continue to rot this out with issue number 3. Then we hit The Savage Avengers. If we didn't have enough Conan teaming up with modern Marvel heroes, it doesn't get better than this, where we get some amazing new news that the master of the Hyborian Age, Richard, will tell us upon from a higher viewpoint.
Gladly, but before I do that, just to kind of slightly jump back to the Ravencroft thing, the dollar books this week, basically the criminally insane, all having to do with Ravencroft. That Moon Knight book, which is I think the second solo story of a series of Moon Knight, also the first appearance of, besides Khonshu, which is the big one. I was wondering why on earth are they saying the first appearance of Bushman on that? He's not the, as big of a character as Khonshu.
But he is the criminally insane one that's in
He
Ravencroft.
is the criminally insane one that was in Ravencroft, so that's why. Anyways, moving back to Savage Avengers. Awesome, awesome book. I've been talking this one up every week that it comes out. Great adventure, great action. This one, Doom, Conan, Doctor Strange battle Kulan Goth to the death. Do they win? Do they all die? I don't know. But the last page, holy shnikes, the last page is damn exciting. And a new first appearance.
Definitely.
Yet again. Don't miss out. That's the last one on the shelf. So...
Comment if you need it.
Great read. Marvel's just, I don't know, they're just Marvel last page Ray this week.
Yeah. Moving on, another great one that had an amazing last page is Sonata, issue number 7 by the great David Haberlin. Absolutely loving this book with 2 awesome covers. I love the wraparound on this one. You're definitely going to want to grab. Soon to hopefully be a TV series by David Hine and Brian Haberlin. Stranger Things, also a TV series we love to talk about. One of Netflix's best. Has a new miniseries out by Jodie Hauser, and this one deals with 8. Yes, the girl you remember from Stranger Things season number 2, as we deal more on the other characters beyond 9 that have powers, and we explore the world that is Stranger Things beyond the traditional crew. Some absolutely awesome covers there. You're not going to want to miss out on this new series, Into the Fire.
What happened to 7, though?
Yeah, I'm going to presume maybe that's what's going to be the end of 9.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So Strike Force hits issue 5 out from Marvel, yeah. Strike Force number 5 out from Teenie Howard, continuing the awesome demonic and vampire hunting team of Avengers, but as Ghost is brought in, how will the technology switch change that up? Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality has some great covers available for those of you who are Black Suit Spider-Man fans, as Peter David and Greg Land's second miniseries of Symbiote Spider-Man continues onward. Tank Girl gets a wonderful reprint in full color, reprinting the 1988 through 2018 run. And yes, this is as censored as it's going to be, because inside it is far from it. The Hewlett and Marta original run continuing onward. Then we get to the big pick of the week. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 101. We had a huge turnout for 100, especially thanks to Kevin Eastman himself, the creator of the Turtles, coming out for a signing. We have a beautiful Kevin Eastman cover here, as well as a great A cover by Sophie. It is Sophie Campbell, absolutely amazing one. And I believe online we're hearing a lot of chatter about a first appearance in this, correct?
Yes, sir. There's a lot of talk about this, a lot of speculation going on. I believe I saw or heard or read, someone said something about it making the hot list this week, because there's supposed to be a first appearance of a certain someone from the cartoon series.
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing Mona Lisa. I don't know if that's it. There is definitely a new character who's introduced here that they set up for something big. I would argue that it is not going to be the case that it is that classic animated character, but one way or another, you can give it a read, give it your opinion on there. It is definitely a first appearance. It is definitely awesome. And Sophie Campbell drawing this absolutely beautiful. I'm loving this book.
What I can tell you is whoever the character is, it's definitely going to be that one book that the people that missed out on this one turn around and do that argument that you hate all the time, that this wasn't the true first appearance.
Yes.
That she only shows up twice in 2 panels. And
she gets a couple panels, but only 2 pages of appearance.
2 pages, couple panels, so it's going to be called the cameo appearance.
Yeah, no name dropped. Yeah.
Eventually, when we see her again, I'm guessing it's not even going to be 102, knowing the way IDW works these things.
Hard to say, but it's definitely the first appearance as far as I'm concerned in this. So it's the question of who the first appearance is.
People are going to be buying this book up for a couple things until they get a full, splash page.
But here's the added bonus that right now, because of issue 101 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all the way until issue 102 comes out, anytime you buy any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles related product, whether it's the new issue 101, a back issue, a trade paperback, an action figure, a toy, a Hero Clicks, anything Turtles related, every item will get you a raffle ticket to win a copy of Batman and the Teenage Mutant Turtles animated series #1 blank cover, completely drawn, sketched, and colored on by artist Death Fee Masson, along with the signature of Kevin Eastman, the creator of the Teenage Mutant Turtles, and a remark by him. It is a beautiful, beautiful piece. We will make sure to show you before the end of the live stream. But now is the time. If you were ever going to buy Teenage Mutant Turtles products in this store, you need to come in this month and buy up as many as possible. We have all the stuff to catch you up on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and dive you directly into 101. It is awesome.
Fine, if you say so, I will do it. Where's that cover A? There it is.
Yeah.
I'm entering the contest.
All right, come and hop in. You're going to want it. Trees, continuing Warren Ellis and Jason Howard's amazing series, hitting issue number 5 this week. Unbound hits issue number 3 as we deal with some virtual killing in a wonderful fantasy sci-fi realm. It is very Sword Art Online, but much more intense. Vengeance of Vampirella hits the 4th issue with absolutely stunning covers, as Dynamite is so renowned for. That Olivier one is amazing. We have all sorts of great covers. I love that Perillo, both color and black and white. You do not want to miss out on these awesome, awesome covers for Vengeance of Vampirella. X-Force number 5 is out this week. What some people of the Mutant Persuasion might consider the best of the Dawn of X books. I am not among them, but we'll go to one to talk it up.
Those people are the smart people, the right people. They're not the English.
Ooh.
Just saying. Since we threw that out earlier. So, X-Force number 4 had the big last page. And if you read it, you know what I'm talking about. Holy crap, that was insane.
Give us a hint without being spoilers. What happened at the end of X-Force? Did somebody get hurt?
Yeah, 2 people definitely got hurt. One person might not have made it, I don't think. The other one, thankfully, can survive such things, but got royally jacked up. Anyways, so where we leave that off, and I now can't even talk about who it was, because now we know what it was. But the rescue crew, Domino, Forge, and Gateway, come to the rescue and there's an awesome battle that ensues. A lot of cool action packed. This one's the fun story. There's just a lot of action. There's not much comedy in it. There's not a lot of thinking going on in this. But it ends with two characters from the X-Men doing things that I never really thought they would or were capable of. Which kind of goes back to the whole House and Powers of X thing. The X-Men, they're not really your father's X-Men. They're not even my X-Men from back then. And at first that really bothered me, but now I'm just kind of along for the ride, and it's just kind of fun to see where it goes.
So X-Force goes from the action book to the thought piece, is what you're saying?
No, they're not a thought piece at the end of this. They're doing something like that. Just I don't want to say they're torturing someone, but there's two characters that you would never think would be doing this, and at least I don't know.
I guess you're gonna have to read to find out.
Yeah, so it's not that oh my god moment at the end, but it is still like where again last page, a lot of setup moving forward.
Yeah,
fun book.
So Paulino wanted to point out, by the way, that Marauders is the best X books, which I totally agree, and that you're a boomer. So enjoy that.
Paulino is probably English.
He wishes. All right, Young Justice, issue number 12, out this week. Ending the first year of Brian Michael Bendis' amazing run on the title of DC Teenagers with two awesome covers. I had a real hard choice between these two. Both of these covers I absolutely love. So it was a hard pick there. But, of course, I mean, you know, you got to give a little bit to Naomi Hyden in this cover. And then we got a restock in of Joker Killer Smile Book 2, just in case you were missing it, so to give you a fun heads up. All sorts of fun and amazing comics out this week. And before...
We're not done yet. I want to talk about one book. Did you find out if you can order more of it before we talk it up?
We did indeed, and we have on order Clock. Number 1.
I think the sleeper hit of the week. It was a good read. If you are into the science thriller books like Michael Crichton used to write, or like here we go, here's a copy of it so you can see what it looks like. Outbreak, this one's for you. I think this is a great read. I'm very interested to see where it goes. Actually, I found the final couple pages where it took away, like it wasn't actually the story, it was more of where the story came from the writer's aspect and the research he did into this. To be the most interesting part of it.
That was Stacy's favorite part as well.
It was like, I want to see more of that in the book, but I can see how as a comic book that probably would not sell very well to a lot of people. They got to keep the action and the adventure going on. But basically, it's if you were to weaponize cancer.
Yeah.
What would it look like?
Matt Hawkins definitely set up something really big there, and while I'm not always the hugest fan of Matt Hawkins' writing, he definitely did an amazing job on this one that he pulled me in. I'm enjoying it.
So you have the main protagonist as a scientist trying to find a cure. He just lost his wife, and that's not a spoiler. It's at the beginning of the book. And he's trying to save the world before he loses any more of his family, which would pretty much just be his daughter that remains.
Yeah, so. It is an intense book, and Paulino, we will get a copy in your pull as soon as the restock comes in.
Sure, you can have George's.
Yeah.
There you go.
But, all right.
George.
And then moving on, just to show you the one last thing, for those of you who are fans of the Turtles, this is your big goal. Any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles purchase this month will enter you in a raffle ticket to win this beautiful, beautiful sketch cover by Death Masson with signature and remark by Kevin Eastman. This was once a blank cover. This is all 100% done, drawn, and colored by Death Masson, and it can be yours for free if you win it. And the way that you win it is purchase anything Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over the next month. When issue 102 comes out next month, we will do a drawing to see who the lucky Turtles fan is. That would be all for the new comics coming out this week, January 8th, 2020. Thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you in the shop, if not tomorrow, later this week.